Okay, so I'm going to have a go at drawing this Maya temple here. Now in the picture you can see the horizon is very, very low. So it's almost straight at the bottom here, all our lines. However, because of our vanishing points, you can see that there's a line that goes down like this. So the vanishing point's probably about here, and this one goes down. It's probably a bit further away, so it's a bit more over here. So if we line them up, you can see the vanishing point will be over there. Vanishing point will be down there. So I'm going to draw my horizon line first and work out where my vanishing points are. With this, because we're close to it, they're going to be quite far away, so a bit more than what you were doing in the last lesson. So I'm going to draw a really nice long line right across. I've got an A3 piece of paper here. So looking at my picture, this corner here, can you see how far along the page it is? If we were to split it up, it's about a third away in. So a third of the full length, maybe even a quarter of the full length. Okay, so what I'm going to do is those vanishing points, we're going to be really far away. So I'm going right to the two ends there. Okay, now remember that's not these points. That are the points which are right over here. So if I look, my vanishing point in line with my horizon is going to be off the phone. So I line up my horizon line, so you can see there my horizon line on my paper. And here, they're really far away. So I'm going to say that the corner of my temple is going to be about a third of the way in. So it's going to be a lot smaller than you think for this piece of paper, because I wanted to get the vanishing points in. And then this one, I'm going to say it's about here. Okay, so those are the corners of my temple. That's how wide the temple is going to be at its widest point. Okay, so I'm now going to put in this point here. This point here. Okay, so if I'm using these two as my edges here, these two edges, I'd say it's about a quarter of the way. So half it, half again. So it looks a bit odd, but it's going to be about there. Okay, so I am going to draw my first bit of the temple. Now it's slightly turned in. If we look closely at the picture, if you can see it, it doesn't go straight up, they're slightly angled in. So I'm going to slightly angle it in. That's my first one. How many steps are there to make sure I get the right height? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9, so that might be a bit tall. I'm going to go about there. Now I can join those up to my vanishing points. Okay, and then I worked out that was the edges, didn't I? There and there. Okay, so I don't get confused. Oh no, I'm going to leave that there. Okay, I'm going to rub out the bit I don't need that's just there. And I've now drawn that in. Okay, so that's my first step on the temple. Oh, it's quite angled in here, isn't it? So I'm going to angle that in. There we go. Okay, so now I need to do the next one up. And can you see that? I know it's not brilliant. Let's see, focus up a little bit more. Okay, that this bit here is in slightly from here. The shadow really shows it. So I'm going to go in a little bit. There we go. Now we can see that a bit better. Two, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 more to go. I'm doing some pencil for a reason, because we're going to have to draw in the steps later. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, we got my 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Brilliant. Okay, so we've got the 9. Probably could have been a little bit narrow at the top. I could make it narrow at the top, have it cutting in a bit more, because it should be much narrower. So if that was my narrow spot there, and then I'll just do bigger bits here, going out. There we go. That works better. That's about what I don't need. I think I'm going to do the same on this side. Have it going in a little bit more. If I look at my picture, it's much narrower at the top. It's about here. I have to make sure I meet that point I made at the beginning. There we go, that's a bit better. There we go. So just like we did that, I'm happy with that. Fantastic. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, let's do the top bit. The bit on top there. So straight up, quite indented in and quite indented here and there. So let's go there. Have a bit lower. So it's going to go there. Line that up with that vanishing point again. That. And line it up with that vanishing point. There we go. I wonder if it needs to be a bit taller. I think I'm going to make it a bit taller. Let's take that out. Make that a bit higher. There we go. Right, vanishing point. Draw in the side. Vanishing point. Draw in the side. Brilliant. Happier with that now. There we go. Right, so I'm going to draw in the details on the top. So I'm going to still, all these lines that are horizontal to the ground, they're not actually because of the vanishing point. So the detail I've got here, you can see that it's across the top here and here. Got 2 lines, so I'm going to do those. Lining them up with that vanishing point again here. Like that. Do it on the vanishing point on the other side. And then there was another one, so another strip. Make sure it's lining up with the vanishing point each time. Okay, and it just came out slightly here, so I'm now starting to be more artistic about it. Just have it hanging, and then we had a little door. So the height of the door, top of the door needs to be lined up with the vanishing point. There we go. Okay, so I've got some detail going on, which is fantastic. Now I need to draw in the stairs. So not these bits, but this bit here. These are actually the real stairs. So it's one straight line going from here in just a little bit and pretty much in line here, going straight down. So we can't really do a vanishing point for this one, but we could look at how far along here it is. So if we said this is the point, that's about, say, a quarter of the way along, maybe a bit more. So if that was my halfway point, that'd be my quarter. That's going to be this side here. So if I line that up, and I think it's going to be about there. There we go. And then the other point was here. and only indented about halfway there. There we go. That'll be my stairs, I think. They overshoot a little bit though, so I'm gonna overshoot that stairs a little bit and line it up with that vanishing point, which means that can join up there. Brilliant. And that one lines up with that vanishing point. No, don't like that. So I'm going to leave it like that. Okay. So now I'm going to rub out the lines in the middle. It's got a slight strip there, slight strip there. Okay, and then I'll be able to draw in all the teeny weeny stairs. I think I might do that in pen later. Now, to really make it look effective, I need to get in these lines here. So I'm going to go straight down from all the points. So here, where the slope meets each of the big steps. I'm just going to go straight down. Work. It's a bit more of a shadow being cast, but I think we'll go with that for the moment. And that will create our shadows. It's going to be a little bit different in the picture, but I think that will work fine. Nope. You see the shadow's gone along here a little bit. So we're going to go along and join that up. No, I'm going to keep it like that. I think that works. We're going to leave it how it is. That works. That works. I'm happy with that. Okay, so got that. Just got to do it on the other side now. Actually, no, I'm going to leave it like that. I think that looks Mayan temple-ish enough. So now I'm going to draw in pen or biro, whatever works for you, the lines I want to keep. Okay, so now I need to do the steps, but you can see that the angle of the steps down here is very horizontal, but up here it's very angled, and that's because they're all pointing to that vanishing point. So it might take a little while, but you're going to have to draw it, and there'll be ever such a slight change each time you do a step, okay? Imagine, or you can even hold it with your finger, imagine there's a pin holding it here, and it is turning here, okay? And you draw in each step, and they need to be much smaller than these. Okay, so to continue on from that, to make the steps look effective, we need to do the same thing that we've done here with the triangles for the shadow. So each place the step meets the slope, I am just doing a little downwards arc. It doesn't look like much, but it'll add to the effect of it. And you'll see where you haven't quite met the slope as well. Okay, so now we need to do our cross hatching. So if we bring back the picture, and we need to see where it's at its darkest. So the darkest is this side here, and this, and the side of the steps as well. Okay, so we're going to cross hatch those in first. So remember, when you're cross hatching, that the further apart the lines, the less darkness there is. It's not as dark. The closer you are, and however many crosses you do, makes it darker. Okay? So if I do my slopes over here, going all in one direction, and then I'm going to go in the other. And I'm only doing one section at a time. I'm not going over all of them. So once I've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look really closely at my picture and think, are there any areas that are particularly darker here than the others. And I think especially at the top here, that's darker than this bit and underneath the next section as well. So I'm going to try and do those a little bit darker to make them a bit clearer. Oh, to make them a bit clearer. So the top part was dark, so I'm going to go over it again with more cross hatching. That will really make it stand out. I'm going to do the same for that part as well. I think I might just on this side here, I just want to make it a little bit darker. Okay, so now I need to do, so the reason we can see at the top here, we can see, oh, there we go. The reason we can, so you can focus, see these bits here is because there's a slight shadow underneath. So I need to do a little bit of cross hatching under there. And then also I'm going to do my cross hatching down the bit here. Now I'm not going to do this, but you can see that there are patterns here. There's some blocks. If you want to put that in, you can do, not a problem. And there is your Mayan temple. So I will post a picture of the one I use, so you can use that same picture if you like, or you could do your own Mayan temple. That's absolutely fine. Just remember your vanishing points. They'll be a lot wider than you think, otherwise you're going to get a very weirdly shaped temple. So you want them a lot wider. I use nearly the full width of the page. Okay, you see the distance from here. And then remember all your cross-hatching tools as well. Now, the big thing is I always look to see where things were in relation to each other. So I was saying, right, this is about a quarter of the way in from the 2 vanishing points. So I found my halfway point, found that halfway point, and then I had it. So always mark things up. So yeah, if you want to do the patterns, go for it. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing all your fantastic Mayan temples.